Good morning, Vietnam. No, wrong. That's a movie reference. What is going on, All Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these badass Broncos, we love to drive. This is your All Terrain Nation presented by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. All they want you to do is what, Kelly?
They want you to just check out their website, go check out their products, and tell them if you decide to buy something. I guess I'm tripping over my words tonight. Yeah. If you decide to buy something, just let them know All Terrain Nation sent you.
We get nothing from it.
We don't get any kickback. We just want them to know that we're getting the word out there for them because they're awesome people.
That is right, man. So it is Monday night, so it is Bronco Talk Live, and of course, this is more of turning into Ford Talk Live. It seems like,
yeah.
But which who knows where we go with that down the road. But I hope everybody is having an excellent Monday. Kelly, I've had a case of the Mondays. Allie, how's your Monday going?
I'm recovering.
Yeah. Allie, we're
I'm trying to get my life together.
We got a special guest that I want to ask both of you too about the fun event we didn't get to go to. But
I see who's in now.
Yeah. Okay. But Kelly, how's your Monday going? Everything going good?
Yeah, it's going all right. I got some work done today, so that was nice.
Wait, you do work?
Yeah.
Around the house, I know you did because
the
job is like a week's end.
We don't talk about that.
Right? But it is like it's coming up to an end. So
for sure.
Feel sorry for our household. I'm playing, but hopefully everybody's having a fun time. And we've got a couple special guests that's going to pop up. And to kick this one off, you don't know this lady. Well, you've probably seen her in the chat, so we'll bring her in just a second. But Allie, you got to go to Silver Lake. I'm kind of kicking myself in the ass because I wanted to be there.
Dave?
And and yeah, so I accidentally booked a guy's trip. Me and my dad and my son. We hadn't ever done like 3 generations. Like
when he had been told the date several times.
Oh my
God, I did tell you a lot.
I know what I'm saying. You told him a lot.
You did. I'm an idiot. That's basically what it is.
And you all wonder why I'm the operations person.
That's right. That's why I brought Kelly in on this. But you got to go to Silver Lake, and along with our special guest in the background here, we have Miss Laura.
Hey,
Trade Nation shirt on.
I feel like there's double backgrounds here. Well, you've got your Bronco hanging up. Allie's got her Bronco hanging up.
Yep.
Look at
that Supercell Tennessee. I got it.
Yeah. Oh, you have the Tail of the Dragon sign too.
Yeah.
Mine's in the garage somewhere. I have no idea where.
Wow. So much love for the pictures.
Well, you guys have probably seen Laura in the chat. We've grown to love Laura. We got to meet Laura last fall at Hollyoaks.
Yes.
And Laura talked our ears off, and we love this lady.
She's
such a ball of energy that we love her. And you sell Fords, correct?
Yes, I do.
Where? Tell us your dealership. You got to get come on. We're going to make you professional.
Plugs
out real quick.
I am a salesman. Actually, I wear many hats. I work for my dad at Altroni Ford, in small family-owned dealership for 55 years. We've been in business for the 3rd generation in, and small town, central Illinois. So not far from Michigan. I've been in Michigan quite a bit this year.
We had made a joke this weekend that she just needs to get a cabin up here.
It's true.
She keeps coming up here for all the events.
The next 2 weekends. Yes.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's right. That's right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're going to be busy.
Oh, yeah.
No, technically the next 3 weekends. If you come up for Woodward on Saturday.
Map, and then, that'll be my last.
So are you literally going to be up there for like 4 weekends in a row?
This would be the 3rd.
Right? Yeah, 3 weekends in a row. So
yes, I missed Hollyoaks because of a wedding, but that's okay.
Married when there's off-roading involved.
Right. Who gets married when you've got stuff to do? Like unacceptable.
Well, the other wedding I was at, recently before that, I made it to Hollyoaks, and then we got to the wedding a little late, but
that's dedication right there.
So
that's dedication.
Well,
and I want to show Dave quick. I was trying to pick out a shirt to wear. I was going to wear the all-terrain shirt or this one because it just seemed like a Dave shirt, but I just thought it was funny. I don't know. We got chickens from my son, first grade class. He brought them home. So now my husband calls me the chicken girl. So anyway, I thought it'd be a Dave shirt, but I wore the all-terrain shirt anyway.
Well, we appreciate the support. And so I've got two special guests. I'm gonna bring them in just a second. But quickly, you both were at the sand dunes in Michigan there.
Mhm.
What happened? I know there was a special something that I heard might be there. It did show up. You ladies want to talk about what happened?
I mean, if Bronco's gonna have a huge event, Ford's gonna show up in some form of fashion. And they had a diesel Tremor F-250,
Nice.
Oh, I
some
didn't hear about that one.
Broncos, a Bronco Raptor, and a Ranger Raptor.
Just
Dude,
saying,
it's
Dave, you
so
knew it was going to
sad.
happen. Just going to say.
I was on the beach and Allie's like, get over here.
I did. Hold on. Let's pull this up, shall we?
I did. I came with a warning label tonight, and I haven't even had a sip of alcohol yet. This is my new gift from my wonderful husband, because it legit is like we'll be drinking a drink, and all of a sudden it's like, surprise, I'm drunk.
Yeah.
And
Here's
She's
it
some
like,
wine.
happens. It's
There's our
funny.
wine rack. It's getting
Is that
empty.
your hubby's wine?
Yes,
Oh,
Well,
your hubby makes the best wine.
he does. We're ready to pick some more grapes after all these Bronco events.
Right?
right.
Well,
It's
Allie,
been,
do you
it's
have
been-
something coming, Allie?
Wait, what?
No, I thought you were trying to bring something up. Or
I thought she was too.
Yeah, I just found it.
No, okay. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
I'm just
see,
trying
Laura,
to
we're
make
not
you
as
mad.
professional as you think we are. Laura was kind of a little worried that she was like, I was like, you just need a quiet room, a
Yep.
camera, and we're good to go.
And a
That's it.
microphone.
Yeah,
But-
you literally. I'm still learning how
Okay.
to share the screen.
Bird Dog Overland says, I've seen the Ranger Raptor in person twice now.
Oh yeah, Jody was there too.
I got to sit in it. So meh.
I got you for a second.
So what do we have here, Allie? This is it's not that great color red that I don't like, but
That's
It
hot
is-
pepper
it
red,
is
right?
hot pepper red, but
Yeah.
they were there full force. They showed up late at night, and it was funny. My friend Eric and Nicole, who I actually camped with them in the same campground, he had asked, and he's like, "Hey, are they bringing a Ranger Raptor?" And I just kind of smiled because I heard a couple of rumors that they were coming out, and I'm like, they're not just gonna go out and say yeah, it'll be here at 9:00. No, they're just gonna pop up kind of whenever. But the guys were so nice. They let anyone
Yeah.
look in it, sit in it, answer a bunch of questions. I just think it's really cool how Ford gets involved that way, so they can be one-on-one with the cut. Because it's one thing, and Laura can attest to this. It's one thing for the salespeople to be involved and answer all their questions, but it's really cool when Ford goes out and does it and gets to talk to these people, because they may not see it, but people geek out over it. They absolutely love that kind of a thing for sure. And the fact that they took the time to bring one out and just kind of hang out with everybody was really cool.
I have to say, there's not a lot of other brands that seem to kind of cater to their enthusiast side like Ford does. So that's definitely awesome. They did that. Overall, though, how was the trip? Everything a lot of fun. Laura, did you get out there and rip it?
Yeah, I did.
Sales.
It took me a little bit to get my feet wet in the sand, but I didn't want to leave at the end. So
No, it was a lot of fun. Overall, I think there was well over 300 Broncos.
Wow.
Well over.
awesome.
Should have been
someone said-
301. I'm saying.
Huh?
Should have been 301. I mean, if we'd have been there, but
No, they're thinking there was 315, 330 above for Broncos.
because this is the takeover, right? This is
Mhm.
yeah.
It was
yeah,
really
and,
cool. It was really awesome.
Did y'all make fun of any
Dave.
Jeep people there?
Did what?
Did you make fun of any Jeep people there? And
Oh, obviously. There's Gladiator that couldn't get up. It was fantastic.
Remember racing?
I've been that Gladiator. I know how that operates. I know how that happens.
It was great.
that's great.
Or
Well, I'm
Jordan
glad
was
that
with us. Yeah, and we had all 5 Broncos lined up to drag race, and then this Jeep comes in out of and pushes us all
Okay,
almost ran over Jody.
let's talk about this for a
Sorry.
second. Laura's a little speed demon who's addicted to racing. And like every time she would pass that, she'd be like, hold on, one more time. And she'd like go do another lap. And it was us, Jody. And then we also had another couple who actually works at Ford as well. And like we're our own little group. And we kind of just did everything together the entire weekend. So it was so funny.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, because I was drag racing, and then you came out above somewhere on the dunes, and you're like, over here. So then, yeah.
I just kept popping up.
That's crazy, man. Well, speaking of popping up, we have some special guests because last week we had a couple guests for the debate we're going to do tonight, and we have the dual guest tonight, so it's going to be a lot of fun. We have the puppy family that is known as Johnny's Car Care and Reviews in the show.
Howdy, everyone. Thank you for having us on the show. Very much appreciated.
There's puppy time.
John, can you hear us from America?
We can hear you. And I think you've got a great show tonight. I'm looking forward to this topic, but I think picking best Bronco is like picking best poodle. You know, they're all great, but there are definite differences. Like, you know, some are a little chunkier and powerful than some other models.
We call that more torque, John. We call that's
okay.
Torque.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, torquing, is that what it's called? Torquing when you got a Bronco with a lot of torque in it?
There you go. There you go. But John, we were glad to have you and Marie on tonight because you guys have owned one of the vehicles we're gonna discuss, or I believe you had an Outer Banks, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Your first one was an Outer Banks, and I know Laura, you have an Outer Banks if I remember right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so I think we've already seen that's Team Outer Banks, but tonight the Outer Banks is going to go up against the Black Diamond. Of which trim do we feel more value? I have my thoughts about it. You guys will have your thoughts about it, and our guests will have their thoughts about it. We will open the polls up in a little bit, but first, if I do not do this, I will be sleeping on the couch. So.
Who says you might sleep on the couch anyway?
Oh, wow.
There we go.
We've got Bronco Dude in the house, Jay checking in, Blue Ferd, M. Peugeot coming in, Michael Nice. Thanks, I think. Bronco 78 Adventures. Let's see. We've got Michael Malo, Zach N, Mark King, Eric Jefferson, Bronco Dude, Steve P, all the way from Phoenix. He always makes sure that he reminds us how hot it is where he is. Dave Zarko, Ragnar Khan checking in this evening. Pezhead 123, Jonathan Folds, Jeff Dizer says, "What's up, ATN? Got an email from Ford saying my Black Diamond is built. Congratulations!
That's awesome.
We love to see those updates, guys. Keep them coming. Keep them coming." Bryce Gardner checking in. Michael Cooper, Minall Productions, Nelazar, Bob Masters, Bud Guy 8829. Paul Elliott says, "I love it when YouTube reminders are 4 minutes behind the power curve." Let's see. I have a couple folks in there a couple times because I want to make sure I said hello to everybody. So let's see. So Valley Dude 5000, Pamela Turkin, Baffus, welcome. And I'm sure I just butchered your last name, so I'm so sorry. Paul Elliott, of course, talking about my warning label t-shirt this evening. Frank B, Bird Dog, Off-Road Adventures.
It's hard to say that one now.
It is. Trip over myself all the time. Let's see. Adam Roman says, "Finally joined the Big Boys Club. Customer backed out, so I picked up a 2023 Badlands SAS Lux with hardtop in Velocity Blue. Traded in my Bronco Sport. Already took it off-roading. Congratulations.
Man,
Congratulations."
You like jumped 2 levels of coolness right there. Is what you've done.
And you were actually very close on Pam's last name. That's actually who we were camping with.
Oh, nice.
Who we hung out with.
Guess it's years working with customers' names is what's probably helped me a little bit there. Greg Abar, 502 Bourbon Crew. the medic. We're just going to say it that because I can't get all the Roman numerals right at the beginning there. See you all at Woodward. Sadly, I won't have the Bronco in time. Still in production limbo from 7/17. I'll be in an F-150 Tremor among Broncos.
Well, you just run everybody over that way. It's okay.
The Tremors are so fantastic.
Right?
Yeah. Fantastic. Best value.
100%.
I'm a big fan of the Trimmer.
And finally, we have Christy Mead and Tim Bartz, the Ford video guy. And I see Gia jumped in last minute, and I think that's everybody. If I missed you, it was not personal.
Gia was there this weekend as well.
Yes, Gia was there. I know.
How's her clutch? That's all I want to
Good.
ask.
Right.
No, I think she is getting a lot better and getting more comfortable with the manual.
Nice.
Good.
I won't speak for her. I'll let her speak in the chat, but I thought she was doing great.
Well, I know she posted on Laura's comment or Laura's video on Facebook today that said, I got to get faster at shifting. And when you posted your race video today,
Right.
Yeah.
she's like, I got to be faster at shifting.
Gia, what you do next time you go to the sand dunes, you watch Talladega Nights.
Oh gosh.
And you get Ricky Bobby soul in you,
Oh,
and then
Lord.
you'll be fine.
First or last.
That's right. That's right. Well, John,
That was Laura's whole mentality every time she raced. Like I have to pull up some of the pictures and stuff. It was so
That was
funny.
fun. The flag guy got the little girl that was a flag person at first was awesome, and then the other one I could never tell when he was releasing it to get the good jump.
Typical. Guy's not bringing it right.
man, John, we're outnumbered here, buddy. That's all I know.
It's
is
true.
We're outnumbered with
True.
the
So
females.
this is about the one Jeep guy. I mean, Jody was there. He's a jerk.
Well, so John, we've noticed on your channel, man, you've been all over the place. You're like covering everything now, right?
Yeah, we're trying to cover a little bit of everything. Well, everything that we like. So, like tonight we're covering Land Cruiser because we like it, but we also felt a need to cover it because every journalist right now seems to be unbelievably positive about it, saying like it's an incredible, awesome off-roader, and they're only bringing out the positive points and they're not talking about the real deal. And I think, that's a great way to lose thousands of dollars or just get the wrong machine. It's like buying a size 8 shoe because, it's a beautiful Air Jordan shoe when you're a size 10, but, you can't resist the 30% off sale. And in the case of the Land Cruiser, it's actually pretty expensive. So we're trying to cover a bit of everything and branch out, but we still have our heart on the Bronco. And, you're talking about getting used to the clutch, and it was really reminding me at Bronco Off-Rodeo in New Hampshire this weekend.
Oh, cool.
We were told that they kind of pulled the manuals from Texas because they're burning through a lot of clutches. A lot of the customers that were going to the Texas Off-Rodeo were just burning through their clutches, and they're switching way too many of them. So I thought that was interesting. So I think it's great when people, like when I step back into a manual vehicle, I always have to try to, play around and learn the transmission, and I try to keep it in mind that I've got to relearn. You can't just jump in and figure a manual because you drove one 30 years ago, because muscle car manuals were quite a bit different than today's manuals.
Mhm.
Well, and I'll be honest, I know we all know that I'm not the greatest at driving a manual, but I do have a basis of driving a manual, but I have learned over the years that each vehicle is different. Each manual is different, has a tighter clutch, looser clutch, there's a whole lot to it. So I can definitely see that would make a smart move for Ford to go, you know what, let's not even take that chance. And let's be honest, like those that have off-roaded just in general, a clutch is not something that you want to deal with on the trails if you're a brand new person off-roading, because it is not easy. I'll be honest, it is not fun unless you're really tried and true in it. So I can definitely see that would have maybe even impacted some of the reviews on Off-Rodeo in general, being like, maybe this isn't the right fit for me. So it's definitely interesting to see that.
Well, I have to say, M. Peugeot says this is last week at work, and I know
Congratulations.
he's been I think he's like been living in a trailer a little bit, like a
Yes.
pull behind trailer, a camper trailer deal. Like he's really
They were talking he either just rolled 80,000 in his Bronco or he's getting ready to roll 80,000 in his Bronco.
I just rolled 42 on the sand dunes.
wow. but
We're still just over 20.
And Pedro's definitely leading in miles. I think he's our leader for high miles. He'll let us know how the reliability is.
What is Chase?
100%.
What is Chase Gentry at? He's got to be close too.
oh yeah, he's up there. Well, there was that one that was within 1 year. Some lady she traded in, but there was like 70,000 miles on it in a year or something. It was ridiculous.
We're at 22,000 miles on it.
We're just barely broke in.
I know.
Feels good.
God,
don't
see if you
think
stop
that
bailing
36,000
on
is
Bronco
looming
trips,
on
you
me,
might
though, in my
actually have
mind.
some miles.
Do what, Allie?
I'm like, if y'all stop bailing on Bronco trips, you guys would have some miles.
Wow.
Well, let's see if we can get you down here to Windrock, and then we'll put your Bronco to the test. How about
It's
that?
requested.
There you
Trust
go.
me, Allie, I really considered driving up that weekend.
We had talked about
But
it.
then we talked about it, and he said, "No, you're not." And I was like, I might still do it anyway. But then then a friend of ours' 50th birthday party was this weekend, and since Dave couldn't be there, and they've known each other since what, like third grade?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had to represent the Boyd family, and
Hey, my trip was great to be with my family, but
that's true.
my team lost. I did come back with this bitch in Jersey, so I'm very happy.
We're not going to talk about that bitch in Jersey.
Yeah, well, anyway, so let's get into tonight's topic, and I think everybody probably is pretty qualified to talk about this because John, you've done some time with the Ford dealers, right? Like you have a background with selling some Ford products, if I remember right.
Hey, Dave, adjust your mic.
Who, me?
There you go.
There you go.
Damn it. I gotta get these fixed. Anyway, so everybody here has done some time in Ford products, and they kind of, I think, most of everybody, it seems like, sold Ford products at some point, so they have a good idea of what customers will like. Laura, what made you choose, as we get into this, and I'll start the poll in here in just a minute, but what made you choose the Outer Banks with your Ford Bronco?
Well, my situation was a little different. I had the mannequin. It was a big bend and the Outer Banks on a lot, and I wanted it right away. It was beautiful. And so, I mean, I was lucky. I was one of the lucky ones to get a 21 two-door Outer Banks high package. So.
Nice.
Dang.
But so it wasn't like you didn't thumb through all the brochures as you're at your dealership there going, which do I pick? Because I know Allie was just like, this one.
That's literally how it went. I'm like, I'm going.
Yeah, it would have been hard at that time because, I mean, I was reading and reading. I mean, it was during COVID. There was nothing else to do. But it was just like it took me a little bit. I remember like the mid-grade vinyl, where they're like, that was a big talk. Like, okay, to get leather, you have to get carpet, but to get the rubber flooring, you have to, you can get the mid-grade vinyl. So, which Black Diamond, Badlands for that, which I wish that I do like that a lot, especially after playing in the sandbox at the sand dunes. So
she was creative of having to get the sand out, though. I will give her that. That's credit to my husband. Yeah, it was.
So how do you get the sand out?
With a tool. I don't even know. He did it himself.
Like a sander?
Yeah, and then it vibrates and shoots all the sand out.
And then you vacuum it.
Yeah, and it worked pretty good. And then he made my 7-year-old vacuum. So
I think we still have sand in oaks from being at Hollyoaks last fall
in November or October, whenever it was. Yeah,
I still find. Of course, we went to the beach too, but
but we still had sand before we even went to the beach.
Yeah, but John, why did you guys choose Outer Banks?
Yeah, it's unfortunately I'm a mix between Laura and Allie. My first Bronco was a Badlands, and I spent months picking it out. And it was actually a Black Diamond originally. I wanted a 2-door hardtop Black Diamond. And this one said, well, what happens if we ever have a kid? So you should get a 4-door. Well, she was maybe 2 years ahead of the game, but I switched it to a Badlands because I wanted that off-road capability. But the Outer Banks was a much easier decision because in Canada, dealers got about roughly 10% of the Broncos because we're 10% of the population, but people didn't go as Bronco crazy here. Mm-hmm. So the dealer actually had some incoming well, it's a mix between inventory and orders that were canceled well in advance. So we had an Outer Banks coming in, and it was Sasquatch. And I wanted, yeah, I wanted a Sasquatch. I guess I'm a bit of a fancy pants, and I wanted that big, big tired look, and I wanted to go anywhere capability. And I thought I'd actually be doing a lot more wood cutting on my parents' domain than I actually ended up doing. But it got us to every mall very safely, and it was actually pretty awesome. Much more capability than we ever needed just driving on the beach in Florida and North Carolina. Mind you, there's a couple spots in North Carolina in Outer Banks that we would have probably gotten stuck with less of a machine, but really a Black Diamond would have been more than enough. But I really like, Marie really likes the heated seats. So our Badlands, we kind of learned with the first one when I was trying to be cheap, but give her some of what she wanted, which was the 4-door for the kid capacity. So then when it came about getting the Outer Banks, I saw that it has heated seats and it had...
Yeah, because I spent the winter with the Badlands having the dog sheets on the seats, so it wasn't that cold for my...
For your bum. You can say bum on YouTube.
So that's an alternative when you don't have heated seats. You put a blanket. So the dog blanket is it's perfect.
Yeah, she complained. Well, she didn't really complain. It's just every time I'd ask her, why is the dog sheet in the Bronco? She'd say, because you're cheap and you didn't get heated seats. So the Outer Banks was me just trying to save face. So it was a happy compromise between, the husband, the husband's vehicle and the wife's vehicle, her desire, her needs versus my needs.
Right. So the way we do this is we're going to automatically look at Sasquatch package, because if we don't, there's too much of, well, you
do this, do that.
Yeah, there was too many variables about it. So the way we're going to do this tonight is you're just getting the Sasquatch package. But just because you get the Sasquatch package does not mean you get all the goodies, right? Because Outer Banks Sasquatch package, it's missing some things that, say, the Badlands gets, right?
Right. Like mine doesn't have the Sasquatch, and I basically don't have the sway bar disconnect and the front lockers is all I don't have. And then the high package, the Luxe package stuff with the heated seat or heated steering wheel. And
when each trim too gets a little different look. I know the Outer Banks is kind of aimed more towards the bougie side of things, we'll say, because it's
I got the HD modular bumper too. You
can get the leather seats. You can get the painted. I'm assuming you can still get painted fenders. I haven't heard much about those in a while.
Yeah, you can still get painted fenders.
If you don't Sasquatch, the painted fenders and painted mirrors are nice, but our Sasquatch still had the painted mirrors, which I think was a nice, as you would say, bougie look. And the black grills are we really like part of the reason we have the Wild Track now was a very small reason. We did want that black grill as opposed to your Black Diamond flat plastic. But that Black Diamond has that wonderful steel bumper, which is kind of annoying, that the rear steel bumper can't get on an Outer Banks no matter how you equip it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where I think Ford they've muddied the water. And I've said this, and John, I know we've talked about this a lot, but too many options. But if you start looking, which is part of what we're doing, is looking at the smaller details. I mean, that's a good point. If you want to take your Outer Banks off-roading, you're stuck kind of with the plastic bumpers, right? And now Sasquatch package, do you get full skid plates with the Sasquatch?
You can. Our Sasquatch Outer Banks didn't have skid plates, so we took basically a customer's canceled order, and we picked it up. And I just was like, this will make the wife happy. Let's do it. But then the first time I went to go off-roading, I kind of got nervous because I'm like, oh geez, everything underneath is just completely exposed. Like playing hockey without a jock strap. I didn't feel safe at all.
Let's see. Imp Joe is saying the Sasquatch package for the OBX does not come with painted fenders. I thought that was still an option though, that you could get it.
Yeah, if you don't Sasquatch it, if you just take it a straight OBX, has that, and I think M. Peugeot, if I'm not mistaken, I think he has a straight Outer Banks that he then modified. So I would think that he'd have. Well, then if you get your regular Outer Banks, yeah, you've got the painted fenders, and they're nice. They go well with the painted mirrors.
Right. Of course, I thought at one time we thought about getting the rapid red fenders just so I could throw them on. If we put ours in some sort of display or something, I thought, oh, it'll be
No,
kind of bougie.
you thought about it.
Well, that was when it was still my Bronco, but it's long past. We're long past that. But I kind of like the fenders, and I understand what they were doing with the Outer Banks, especially because you look at Jeep, and Jeep has their kind of safari package, which it sort of blends itself. It's kind of a bougie. You're going to get nice fenders, you're going to get a nice look, nice materials inside, and the one thing too is each trim seems to have a different dash color, so you got to kind of figure out. That's one part of breaking these down is it seems like, man, maybe I wanted the ultimate trim, but I don't like the way the dash
or
looks.
the trim handle or trim on the handles and things like that too.
Yeah.
A lot of people are just like, why did I get that and not that?
Right. Allie, where I know obviously you don't have an Outer Banks, but customers,
No, but I sold enough of them.
how do you see the customers wanting to outfit this? Because I will say early on with Bronco, like there was people were looking for the bougie side of Bronco. Like there was a specific crowd I saw.
You have a lot of people who ordered this thing. I mean, okay, don't come at me. A lot of these are going to be pavement princesses, 110%.
100%.
And I think I'll give you a prime example. People who are coming to the Michigan Bronco Club events. A lot of people started going just to meet some more people and just to get familiarized with everything, talk to some people where they can actually ask questions and not get their head torn off, who had no even inkling that they wanted to off-road this thing, where now they're realizing, okay, instead of it being a pavement princess, I actually like doing some of this stuff on the weekends, and they may have not ordered the right one because they didn't know. And there's there's so many new people to Bronco. Kind of like we said earlier, I was taking a truck. I ordered one just to see what my customers were going through. I got hooked at the dealer preview and Off-Rodeo. And everybody say hi to Maya. Hi, Maya. So
Puppy night.
It's one of those things that I think a lot of people just didn't know when it comes down to it. And I think every Bronco is capable to do. It just depends on how far down the rabbit hole do you want to get with this.
Right.
That's what it truly comes down to.
Oh, for sure. And Allie, how many ladies did we see legit, like Amy was saying, we're walking like peacocks coming off the hill, after ladies off-road, that's what she referred to it as. Yeah. She was like, wait, y'all are gonna come off here walking like peacocks.
I was so even when I went to dealer preview and I had Mike, I was so pumped, not to be done with the day, but to do more. Because again, I wasn't taking my order. I was just doing it. I heard the holdups. I didn't think I was gonna get far into this. And I'm like, okay, we'll just see what the customers are going through and we'll be done.
You're telling me you didn't think you would co-host a Bronco-only talk show?
3 years ago, if you would have said half of the things that I've done, the people I've got to hang out with in this new life that I have, I wouldn't have guessed this at all. I would have thought that you were batshit crazy.
It's funny because your mom said something like, I'm just so shocked that she knows all these people, or all these people know her, and she gets to do this. Never thought it would happen.
So at Bronco Takeover this weekend, one of the girls that helps volunteer for the events, and she's like, you're just a little celebrity, because I had made it up Test Hill, and she recorded it for me, and I'm like, I got to talk to her, and I knew her from Facebook, but I didn't it took so long to put it all together. And she's like, you're Allie, right? I'm like, why? I'm like, who's asking? Depends on who's asking, and then I'll give you my answer.
Are you asking for the event? Are you asking for me? Or are you asking about something bad?
Who did I make mad now? Let's think about this. But no, it's been crazy.
Her name is Queen. Doesn't Gia call you Queen?
Yeah, Gia calls me Queen. I laughed at that. I'm just like,
Or are they asking about you for the amount of times you've been blocked on groups?
No, she has not. It's high though. But it's it's one of those things that, like, if I can have one person have the opportunities or like the knowledge that I do on Bronco, and I get to like give that, like, it doesn't even have to be another woman. Like, it can be a guy who has never off-roaded or just like learn something new. Like, I don't care. Like, if I get to like change someone's outlook and like have them have a great time, that's all I care about. 110%. Like, it's so cool to me because like I've got to do a lot of really cool things that I am so thankful for. But if I get to like have someone else have that experience or like ask a question where they feel like they aren't being torn down about it, like that's what I care about. That's what I want. And that part's been really cool. But like, even delivering all these Broncos, like, I've even told my customers, I'm like, hey, meet me out here. We'll go for a trail ride. We'll do this. And it's so fun because like now they're like, okay, now my next Bronco, I need this locker. I got to do this. I want this different package. So they're learning. And that's the biggest thing. Like, all of this is going to just be a learning experience for everyone.
Well,
So,
and that background was brought to you by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. So, and they've been making comments of, you know, you get one tow hook. There's a lot of good comments like that. And some of this, I've forgotten so much Bronco stuff anymore because we're so focused on what we have now, which is kind of the fun of talking about each model. But I know with Black Diamond, when Black Diamond came out, that's kind of where I was drawn to. I knew I wanted the Sasquatch package. So Black Diamond seemed like they sold it as a pure off-road. Here's your kind of purest form of the Bronco, and for its off-road version, you're going to get automatically a rear locker. Obviously, you had Sasquatch package. You're getting a front locker. I believe at the time, I won't say it's now, but you got standard was the metal bumper, if I remember right. You do get the metal rear bumpers, the recovery hooks. There was a lot of fun to that. You got the I believe full skid plates as well.
They have one more goat one too than the Outer Banks.
Yeah, but you didn't get the sway bar disconnect. And so when I put my initial order in, I was gonna I was gonna do a 2-door.
well,
And like Johnny said, it came down to, well, we have a kid, we like to travel, we might need some cargo room, so maybe the 2.
Do you want to get it? There's also that factor too. It's like, do you want to get it anytime soon?
Yeah. Well, and knowing after the initial orders, that was a big, like, okay, let's go 4-door because, once you learn the production issues, is a nightmare.
I mean, so honestly, my biggest thing in, like, because I had chosen Black Diamond at first, just because, like, when they first did the launch of it, you got, like, a brief description. My biggest selling point on these things are the washable floors. 110%.
That was something I looked at with that. And because at one point, I even thought about going Wild Track, which that's for a whole nother show. But that's
next week's show.
The carpet and that kind of deterred me back to wanting the Black Diamond. And, we had an order for Black Diamond, and it was going to be a hardtop Black Diamond Sasquatch package. And then we took Kelly to Supercell because you hadn't been tracking this like I had. But you were excited to see what we were, it's amazing. No, we only put $100 down like everybody, but still you feel like you got a little skin in the game and you hadn't actually physically seen the vehicle. So we went to the Supercell that October because of COVID.
No, it was February or March.
They were doing rides.
Yeah.
And we got to get in every one of them, which was fun. And there was a little hole in the dash. I remember you going, well, that's the nuggie holder. That's the nuggie sauce holder.
Folks, I coined it before it started going everywhere. And guess what he didn't include in our very first video that we did on Bronco? The nuggie holder. The video would have done so much better if you'd included the nuggie holder. I'm just saying.
I think that one did about 35,000 views. I think
it'd have been 40,000 views because of the nuggie holder. Just
wow. Saying. Bring out the nuggies and it brings the views. Okay. Me and McDonald's or somebody going to get an endorsement back here.
Dear Ford, if you're listening right now, apparently we need nuggie holder.
Just put a picture of a chicken in there,
but
just a chicken.
but I knew I wanted an upper trim, but
Yeah.
I was trying to be, you weren't fully into Bronco just yet. As far
Yeah,
as
we
like,
weren't planning to buy a new vehicle at that point.
yeah, we had just gotten rid of a car payment, and we were
Yeah.
both kind of enjoying that. And then I was like, hey, car payment. But so
Day in my life,
we looked
folks.
into all
Hey,
of
mine
them.
had a Fusion.
Oh, nice.
You and what? I think Gia had something like that too, right?
Gia had an Escape.
Yeah,
Escape.
I
But
don't
so
care. I
we-
loved it because she came to all of, and like, this is what I love about this community. Like, you have some diehard people that were so patient and waited the 2 years, like, fully understood why. But like, we didn't turn anyone away. If you still wanted to come hang out and like see everyone's build, do it. We did a drive in Tawas, Michigan, and she freaking brought her Escape, went through all the same path we did, had a blast. It was
And then
that's
suddenly the Bronco's not cool.
I know that's literally my favorite story.
But so we ordered the Black Diamond because I will say for me, Outer Banks, I didn't care about any bougie anything. I knew mid package was something
Dave, your mic.
very very little information to go on.
There you go.
But yeah, so we did that, and suddenly some inside sources was telling me, Dave, you don't want any hard tops right now, and so we just not canceled our order. We paused the order.
We 99'd it.
Yeah, and we went to the Dream Cruise, and then Ford announced, "Hey, your color's going away," and you're like, "Damn it! Now what do we do?" And so we
we got like 3 hours into our trip and the most uncomfortable ride back to Tennessee ever, and we were like, "Shit, I guess we'll put our order in. I guess we'll drop the hard top, put a soft top in.
Yeah.
Yes, we want Badlands
because you got to ride one, but that's
Yes.
for next week. We'll save something for next week. But I knew for me, Outer Banks wasn't. There was just, for one, I don't know. I didn't like the trim colors of it, the seats, and something I think Ford needs to work on a little bit is they need a better seat colors for each trim, because that's the one thing for me that turned me away from Outer Banks was I just didn't like the kind of colors that you could get with the seats.
Yeah.
Even Black Diamond to me was Black Diamond was a little strange because it's the outer is that kind of light gray and then the inner's the dark. But I like the Black Diamond Dash better. Though I personally like the glossy black or Outer Banks grill better than
He
the
just
Black
wants
Diamond.
to a la carte an entire truck.
Yes.
Is what
Yeah,
he wants
same.
to do.
Well,
Same.
So
with help with our friends over at IAG, you can do that. You can get what you want that
well,
way.
we do have some stuff sitting back here that we still need to get installed that'll make some
I
changes
bought
on the
last
inside.
Christmas. You realize that I bought that last Christmas.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Day in the
let's
life,
start
man.
the poll. I'm curious what everybody thinks about it. Obviously, our community has been, you guys have been debating it in there and talking about it. So, Impejot says he didn't know Verizon was going to do massive layoffs. Well, neither did Kelly till
That's not Impejot, that's mobile.
Or, I'm sorry, Mobile said that, and neither did you till.
You know who I found out did a layoff today?
Who?
Dell.
Really?
Dell did a layoff, and one of our players' moms was laid off.
Oh man.
Her last day's Friday.
Well,
they just
See, I
announced
think
it
when
today.
it comes down to Outer Banks and Black Diamond, it's true. This comment just stuck out to me. It's gonna be, okay, the vinyl seats and the rubber floors,
Mm-hmm.
or the bougie lifestyle.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is there. I mean, and that's
and there's nothing wrong with it.
no,
But-
there's nothing. There's certain people, because we have some people in our local Bronco group, the Vivian. Like
Mhm.
she's told us, I'm never taking this thing off road. She goes, I'll probably never take the doors off.
But you know what she does have? She does have a horn that sounds like a horse.
And
She brings her grandson, and he pushes the button all the time, and she stands there, and everybody laughs at our local meetup thing. So
that was funny. I will say, out of I've complained with too many friends, but it seems like Ford is, there seems to be something for everybody. Last week it was with Big Ben, I believe, won outright. Yep, they said 46%. Big Ben had 53%, and I believe that was over 90 votes, something like that, in the group. This week, it is
said your
open.
mic's messing. Our mics sound caca.
I don't know what's going on with this tonight.
First
Hopefully.
off, hi Ken. So Ken's part of Michigan Bronco
Hey,
group.
Ken.
But I've said this for the longest time. I really think that every Bronco should have a washout floor option.
Agreed.
100%.
Agreed.
Or at least give it to like one more.
Yeah, that's my frustrating point on my new Wild Track. It's 83 Canadian, and I didn't get the choice to have the washout floors, which I think is a huge upgrade over the dirty carpets. And I have no choice but to take a beige dash, which Marie, she had to excuse herself because the dogs were getting, Winston was getting wild, and she, pregnant, she needs to head to bed, but so she excuses herself. But we don't like the interior of our Wild Track. We love the seats. Like the seat color is fine. Blue, it's great. The blue stitching's great. Love the options. Kind of like a Sasquatch Outer Banks. We have heated seats. We've got the 12-inch screen option because we went high package. So, I just voted Outer Banks Sasquatch because, I like that. I like the adaptive. I like the lane keeping, for example. I like the heated seats.
Right.
But it's just so frustrating that, like Dave, I'd like to have something a la carte because I still feel like my Wild Track is, in a way, a Black Diamond in certain respects is better than my Wild Track at 30,000 less Canadian dollars because it has a steel bumper and washout floors. So I feel like Ford is kind of forcing me to pick the least bad option. And I don't feel when I spend $83,000, I should have to pick the least bad option. I should be getting at $83,000 everything I could possibly want. So I feel that's where there's a real lack in the builds. I think whoever decided them thought that the person who's, bougie is never going to go off-roading, or has I don't know if they call them servants or butlers or what they call them, but has a man to clean the vehicle for them when they get back from the trails. But I don't got time for that crap. Like I work 70 hours a week between my two jobs, and when I come back from being in a field and I have my shit kickers on, my cowboy boots, and I've got mud all over the inside, like we were worried about going to Florida and Sasquatch Outer Banks. Because we're like, well, last year we came back with a pound of sand, which was great. Marie actually picked it up and gave the sand in little jars to the nieces, and they don't know that was foot sand. That was our foot sand from our sandals and whatnot from the beach and from off-roading on the beach. But and
the floor mats, right? The Ford floor mats.
So we
floor mats. Say the floor mats. So I've been selling for 8 years. The floor mats within like the last 3 years, how they like cover more, there's like more of a scoop. I will say
they're a lot better.
Yeah, if you don't have them in your build, or like you don't have the washout floors, like that is the best thing you can do for protection on your Bronco. Like
I would 100% agree.
See, and I don't. So I have a couple of people who are like diehard anti-Ackerman.
Johnny, you're looking like a snack today, Andy says.
Those floor mats are kind of like having a diaper. It's annoying. You got to pull them out, rip them, and shake them in your front yard while the neighbors watch you shaking your floor mat out.
You're not supposed to do that with diapers, Johnny. Just so you know, you're not supposed to.
But with it though, I mean, you have a couple of
well,
people
they can carry like what, 10 pounds? Yeah, you just pull them off, you shake them out, and you throw them back on the kid, right? It's going to be easy having a kid.
The Outer Banks does have a drain plug in the back for your wine cooler or whatever you can put.
All of them have drain plugs.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I will say that's, I mean, we've talked about this on the show a couple of times, but I think the dumbest thing, and I know there's a couple of things we've kind of talked about, is like we feel like are kind of like thorns in our sides, annoying about what Ford's done with some of the vehicles. But the biggest stupid thing for me is you have vinyl or washout floors, you have vinyl seats, but yet the back of those seats have carpet on it. Like, why do we have carpet on there? We've never had a dog in ours, which I know you have,
yes,
Allie, but like Brooks won't go in there until I have some kind of cover on that back seat, because once you get dog hair in, you can't get dog hair out.
To the rescue.
But
We
that's
get-
what I'm saying. Like stock from the factory.
We gotta get AJ
Silly.
or JJ back to the show, man. Jeez,
I know.
need a discount, JJ. All the parts she needs now. I pulled up the website here and I was looking at starting prices. So Black Diamond starts at, these are all 4-doors, by the way. I know they're 2-door guy out there. We could do all these just 2
That's
doors,
it.
but
We can go through this like for hours on end
Yeah.
all day long.
the 4-door is the high 80+% take rate. So we'll talk about 4-doors, but Black Diamond starts at $42,240. The Outer Banks is starting at $47,940. Now these are hella more expensive than when I was initially looking for ours, but this is what it is now, and it's the world we live in. But so the Black Diamond, I just want to quickly do and we'll go through both of them. We won't change any colors, but I have to do Sasquatch package. There it is. So that's all I want to change about it. And that's the standard package. That's not adding a mid package to that. The price that just jumped. You do get, the thing I think Ford needs to look at too is the wheel package. When you get Sasquatch, it bums me out that unless you know some of the Broncos, you can't tell them apart anymore because they just look like the same vehicle. I wish they would do maybe.
The only one that you can tell that it's different is Wild Track. You get the black beadlocks.
Yeah. But with Sasquatch package, I believe you get rock rails. Yeah, it shows the rock rails there. The lower trims, you do not get rock rails with the lower trims, by the way. So each time you move up in price, you do get a little something extra as you're moving up in price. Let's see, standard front bumper. So now you don't even get, you're just getting this bumper here, which that honestly for us wouldn't have been a big deal because I knew I was going to put a new bumper on it anyway. So I wouldn't have ever worried about upgrading this. But let's look at the price of this. So there's the interior here. We'll pull it up real quick. People can see what we've been. We've got to fix our website here lately. Like you get on a picture and it's like, no, you don't want to see that.
Bless you.
Come on, Ford.
Not
You
today.
can do it. You can do it. Anyways, but the interior, this one's, I actually like the black dash with the gray. We have kind of a gray,
Looks so
something
strange
similar.
without Rebecca the Bronco on there.
Well, that's other people's problem. But out the door, I got to change this because this is stupid lease. 52,170 for this thing, and we were 54.
Write it down.
54,000 for ours.
Yep.
So let's see, Black Diamond. Y'all can play a Home Alone, by the way.
Home Alone.
Alone
All
right.
at home.
So now let me pull this out, and then I want to look at the outer thing. Okay. This is already more expensive. So here's our pretty little Outer Banks. Of course, it comes up with that pretty little blue. You see, like Johnny said, you get the fenders that way, but as soon as we add the Sasquatch,
Dave, fix your mic.
I don't know what is going on.
There you go.
You know what's funny is I had a mic company reach out to us today, and I may have to hit them up.
You're like, hey.
Maybe they hacked your mic. They hacked your mic after reaching out to you. That's good. They're good, solid business structure right there. Bronco dude made a great point. We're talking about the Ford website, but Jeep's a la carte website is pretty awful. And I couldn't agree with them more because I feel it's the Jeep build and go broke website because they calculate everything by week and they're like, oh, well, you add something like it's only $3, it's only $5, and you have no idea what you're spending. So, unless you're in finances or play the stock market on a daily basis and realize the factor of what $5 a week really actually costs you, most people don't know what they're actually building, and you end up building a Jeep that's way out of what you should spend because $20 a week doesn't seem like a whole lot of money, but when you add 5 of those at the end of the year, that's a whole lot of money.
Oh yeah, it's like going to McDonald's and saying, "Oh, do you want to add on a pie?" Sure. Oh, do you want to make this supersize? Sure.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you're spending $40 on McDonald's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kenneth says that the Outer Banks is that new because I don't recall that the 10-speed automatic was just part of the package now.
I think that because I don't know because I know that we can't do manuals. I don't know if Ford deleted it
I
altogether.
was gonna say.
But I
Well,
don't
on the Black
recall there
Diamond,
ever being.
it limited it on the Black Diamond for manual. I did see that. But you do get mid-package. There's definitely pluses that you're getting to this vehicle versus, the Black Diamond. There seems to be give or take, and that's what I'm curious about. Is you can see you don't get rock rails. You're going to get the side steps on this. Now you do. Looks like you still get the painted end caps on that, and the door handles are all. So that's something different that Black Diamond doesn't get. You're getting signature headlights. I know somebody had mentioned that. Do you get the LED lights in the rear too, or is it the standard?
If you get the upgraded headlights, you automatically get the upgraded tail lights.
Well, I know for Big Ben you can get the front headlights, but not the rear tail lights. It's some weird.
And in Canada, you can't do either of those. Big Ben in Canada is non-signature lights. You can't upgrade to it, and the back lights aren't LED. So part of my Outer Banks choice, or at least I like the idea of Outer Banks or Badlands because I wanted LED signature lights all around the vehicle just for, overall look, bouginess, I guess.
I think that, just my opinion, if Black Diamond would have had a high package, I think there would have been a better take rate on it.
Mm-hmm.
Well said.
A lot of people wanted the 12, because, shocker. You see the 12-inch screen, everybody's going to want to get it.
Right.
Bigger is better.
And I think so I actually have a guy who ordered a Bronco in Tennessee, and he's like, he wants to rip everything apart, but he likes the Black Diamond because of the washout floors. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, because he was going between Black Diamonds and Badlands. I'm like, if you're ripping all this apart to put all your own stuff on anyway, I'm like, just do Black Diamond.
Yeah.
I'm like, you can still have it. He doesn't care about the screen or anything like that. He's like, this is going to be, it's really hard to say that a $50,000 car is like an off-road beater, but unfortunately that's what he's using it for. And I'm like, honestly, if you don't care about Save-Our Disconnect or the 12-inch screen or anything, I'm like, just stick with Black Diamond and rip that thing apart. Plain and simple, because he was actually going to have me change the bumper on his because he wanted the HE modular. And I called him. I'm like, so good news and bad news. Bad news, I can't change your order. Good news, here's your bin. Like, congrats, it's getting built. But it's just one of those things. But
well, and two, I know some of the pluses. Outer Banks got the cup holders in the rear, where initially Black Diamond didn't. Do what?
I said Kelly cup holders.
I know. It's funny how many people tag me in cup holders in groups and other things. It's hilarious.
It's funny because cup holders to me are, I guess I don't have enough people in my Bronco to need it. And I don't have kids.
It's just so you and Mia. Or Maya, sorry.
Yeah, I use
Maya. So a lot of times she doesn't need a cup.
No, she has her own Bronco Yeti bowl.
See? She doesn't need a cup. So I totally get it for people that don't have more than one person in their vehicle with them at a time. Right. I'm sure Laura, if you had a 4-door, it probably would be like the end of the world for you, for your boys, to not have 2 cup holders in the back.
Right. We use them one for sure.
Well, two doors gets cup holders.
No, that's what I'm saying is if she had a 4-door.
Right. Well, so out the door price.
Upgrade to a 4-door?
Did what?
I said, would you ever upgrade to a 4-door?
Raptor, yes.
Now, for all the 2-door people, calling the 4-door an upgrade is going to insult a few people in the chat, I think.
I know.
Because it's nice going through those tight trails. Out west, you need a Raptor, but here in the Midwest, it's so tight.
Yes.
The 4-door, a couple people did tell me that they were jealous of my 2-door. Getting around those tight corners.
Well, that's like with when Ken and Emily came to Windrock to the Tennessee Bronco from Michigan Bronco Club. They were in a Raptor, or no, they weren't. Somebody else was. I'm sorry, somebody else was in a Raptor. We asked the guy, it was we're like, how was that? And the guy was like, it was fun. It was that wasn't the question we were asking you. We knew the truck was capable, but we noticed how tight it was in some of those areas because it is that. What is it like?
6
inches wider or something like that.
Yeah, it's
overall.
something like that.
Well, speaking of wider here, the price is much wider too for the Outer Banks at $56,375. Now you are getting, like, I know we're AB, and this is kind of a weird AB category of these two vehicles, but you are getting a lot of more features with the Outer Banks. I would think if I want the off-road vehicle, though, personally, I'm probably still swayed to Black Diamond, and I would probably just add mid package to Black Diamond, but because of the rock rails and some of the stuff. Now we knew going in eventually we would replace that stuff, but I think for a lot of people, they don't maybe want to replace it. They just want to buy the most capable vehicle. And there's nothing wrong personally for me for Outer Banks, but I think I would still be swayed more towards Black Diamonds. Johnny, which one would you be swayed to if you had to choose? So
Outer Banks or Black Diamond?
Price difference is Black Diamond $52,170, Big Ben $56,375, and Johnny, those are U.S. numbers, sir. I know they seem awful low to you down there.
Yeah, 4,000 Canadian. I'm like, that's nothing. Like, what is that? A week? What? Yeah, that's no big deal. But in American, that's like 3 months of work over here in Canada, working in the mines. So, coal dust Johnny here. So yeah, no, I wish it wasn't a compromise situation, because either way, I feel I'm compromising on every single trim. And this is why it took me 6 months to figure out that I'd get a Badlands, but my cheapness made it that I didn't get, a high package, because a high package Badlands would have been great, or a high package Black Diamond. Originally, I was like, I want something I can off-road with. I want it to be super trail capable. So I was going Black Diamond, and I was going to get two-door. And the Black Diamond was just missing stuff that would work for Marie. So, I think a lot of us, I don't think a lot of people are single out there buying these vehicles. I think a lot of people are at the age where, you've got a significant other, and you got to make some choices that work for them as well. So if I had to do it all over again as a single man, I'd get a two-door Black Diamond, and I wouldn't have to worry about it because I don't care about heated seats. But with Marie in the picture, then it'd be an Outer Banks, and I'll grime about how I'm spending more money and not getting a steel bumper, and I'll grime how grime and complain every time I get in the vehicle and tell Marie, I can't believe I don't have washout floors. This is ridiculous. But then again,
first world problems there.
Sorry, go ahead, Laura. I cut you off.
No, you're fine. Some people jumped up to the Badlands because they want a black interior. It's like sometimes the interior was more important than
It's a really good point. Marie really does prefer the Badlands interior just because it's black.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I will say it gets hot though.
Kenneth brought up a good point of add Autotrans and mid package to the Black Diamond, and how much does it bring it up?
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
So when we built and priced this, it just pushes you automatically into the 10-speed because of limited availability of the manual transmission.
And we chose that across all the platform, all the models.
And that's part of this. I can add, it's $1,495 more, so I can click mid package if you just want to see what the two packages directly compete against each other is, and that price will be $53,665. So you're still about $3,000 more. But the way I'm looking at it, the only reason I leave the engine alone in these debates and just add Sasquatch is just here's kind of what you would get for that price point. So yes, I mean, definitely you add the automatic into that. And Kelly, you brought up that Ford does actually have a good resource in comparing them.
Yeah, so this is actually on the build and price page before you. So I'll go back to it really quickly if you ever want to look at it. So it's actually on. Are you done with this page?
Yeah, go to model.
So it's actually right here. So you click on that compare models option there, and that actually brings up what we're looking at right here. So this actually tells you what is standard and what is optional, which is funny because I remember getting books like this when my parents and I would go into the dealerships when we would get ready to order their next vehicle or whatever. And so I know these, it's optional as a standard, and
remember our dealership gave us, we weren't supposed to get it yet, but they had a stack of the disc basically printed form that they that they just want to check out.
So yeah, so you're looking at, so we talked about earlier, it's like you're looking at manual transmission. So yes, the manual transmission is not available on Outer Banks for this guy. So
Standard on Black
standard
Diamond.
on Black Diamond. So you're looking at that. So yes, you've got the adaptive cruise control, which is optional on Outer Banks, but not available on Black Diamond or the parking sensors.
But that was for me when I was choosing initially. I didn't want all
You didn't care.
I didn't want.
Mhm.
I want, because I'm such an old school guy. I've just give me push buttons, turn things on and off. I didn't want all the
Back in my day.
Yeah, I didn't, but I didn't want all the sensors and stuff
Allie knew it was coming
because I didn't want that to screw up on the trails.
Right.
So, well, like, and here's the thing. I came from an F-150 Lariat. Like, I'm used to all the bougie stuff. Like, again, I was not planning on, like, I've never off-roaded before. I never had friends that off-road.
Yeah.
I was never included in that kind of
This
thing.
is the new drinking game. Anytime Allie starts talking about her order of her
But
Bronco,
like, the thing is, when people ordered, they ordered because they're so used to it in their car.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the biggest, I think, one of the biggest holdups was for these orderings. And Laura can attest to this too, because like typically Ford will say, okay, you can order 5 XLT F-150s, you can order 1 Platinum and things like that, where they literally just open the gates. You're like, order whatever you want. Go to it. Like I think that's honestly why. I think it was lack of education of like knowing truly knowing the trim levels and like what you can get, and just letting everyone do whatever they wanted. Basically, that's why everything took so long.
Well, with how Ford made it, like it's a complicated process, the Bronco. So lack of education, it's like it almost requires a 1 semester 101 university course to get through all this. It's wild. I've had some much easier university classes than learning the Bronco.
But like I also think that Off-Rodeo beforehand, for the people who had the reservations, there were some people that definitely took advantage and like changed their order like because of that. But it's such a good teaching tool. It really is. And Dave, I know your feelings on it, but it's what I'm kind of like pointing it to is like all the newbies.
Well, right now we have
down the rabbit hole you want to get.
We have 52 votes in there, so guys, go ahead and get your vote in, and we'll wrap up this poll because we got some other Ford news we want to talk about. But what I'm seeing of the poll right now, this is ridiculous. I can't believe how lopsided this is. So, go ahead and get your votes in, and I'll leave that up for a couple more minutes. But so seeing how so far we've seen people, some of the comments in for the 2 weeks we've done this, where do you think? I know Ford can watch these videos, and I know they do watch a lot of this stuff. And your positive comments, or even if it's, you can be constructive criticism.
It's like we tell our daughter, constructive criticism done right is not an insult.
Right.
It's just constructive. Try to make a difference.
But I can see from some of the comments, I can see you guys can shape some of the things that can happen with this. And so just remember that when you're talking. I don't know what is up with my microphone.
I don't either. I did want to point out that, you were talking about sensors and things, and I'm going to make sure you don't disconnect me. Okay. You were talking about sensors and things, and I was actually talking with a mom the other day where she has a 2012 Lexus and doesn't have any of the backup cameras, doesn't have anything in it, but she said she's due for a new vehicle.
Past due.
Newer vehicle. But she said, she's like, this car has been good to me. I will be going for another Lexus like this, just a couple years old, because it works for her to buy a couple years old and they last. She's like, I just don't know what I'm going to do when I have all those backup cameras and everything else when she goes newer. And I was like, yeah, it's definitely going to be a new experience, because we get into vehicles and I just take it for granted that they're there all the time.
We tend to get in press vehicles where everything's already in there. So
yeah. We're used to that. But yeah, she was saying that it was be like, I don't know how I'm going to adjust. Like, imagine your dad having backup cameras now.
No, my dad
Oh,
doesn't.
also, so it's hilarious. My dad, he just got into leasing a couple of years ago, and like at first he leased a Fusion, and I'm like, okay, like what do you want? He's like, AM and FM radio. I'm like, okay. I'm like, no heated seats, no nothing. So when
Well,
I
Ford's
got
trying to kill that.
I know. Well,
No
here's
AM radio.
So for his next, he upgraded to a truck. I made him get a truck, but he's like, well, your moonroof is really nice. Can I get that? And he's like, I don't know. My back is kind of like, I think I need heated seats now. I'm like, okay, Mr. AM FM radio. Like now you're Mr. Bougie over here.
Wait until he gets in a vehicle that has massaging seats.
I was
I'm
gonna say
just gonna
I
say
haven't even brought anything home for him to do that. So
is
we're leaving that alone.
game changer. Like legit, I would have bought that vehicle for the massaging
Actually, do
seats.
you want to know the number one request I've had in the Bronco so far?
Cooled seats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. All about it. But
that
guess
the
what?
Land Cruiser is going to have.
Somebody posted on Facebook the other day. They was like, "Hey, you could get these
But-
cool." Oh, I think it was on a reel I was watching. They were like, "You could get
But
these cool
here's the
seats
thing.
on Amazon."
Here's my gripe on that. When you have open air concept and it's downpouring,
Yeah.
you can't have that.
Stand and
So y'all want open air?
Yeah.
Or y'all want cold seats?
And Laura brings up a great point. Sand is a major issue. And Dave, I like how you mentioned, how Ford watches and takes a lot of this into consideration, because we've seen it, with the Bronco speakers. I'm convinced, I'm maybe also a little crazy, but I'm convinced my 23 Wild Track, the sound system's better, even though it's still the same amount of speakers as my Badlands
That thing-
21 early production. I find my 23 is considerably better for sound. They tried to give us a subwoofer, for a week or two, but they did, we see that they listened early on. Dave, you and I remember we were both saying on our shows that, with giving up our hard tops, we'd be okay with it if they had the power for not the power, but the wiring, the power for the rear wiper in case we buy a hard top later on. They threw that in. They've gotten rid of the cloth on Big Bend, and they threw in marine grade vinyl. So basically it's marine grade vinyl up until you get to your Outer Banks and Wild Track edition. So no more Wild Track cloth, which I think we all thought was a little wild that you're spending that kind of money, but you're getting cloth seats. So I think Ford's pretty good with open criticism. I think they take a lot of it to heart. And if they did ever get, the ventilated seats for one of the, whatever they decide is like the ultra bougie model, I'd love it if not only it shoots out cold air, I'd really like it if it sucks up air as well. I think a lot of husbands out there would really appreciate that on long journeys when you don't feel like getting in crap from your wife just because, not all roadside food, you stop at Buc-ee's, it's great, but not all the stuff at Buc-ee's sits well with me. I've got a sensitive stomach here. Heck, I guess maybe, I think in the comments, people are referring to me liking the pretty Bronco, and Mobile Moto calls the OBX the pretty Bronco. And I guess it fits that I bought a pretty Bronco. But I bought it for the pretty white.
I think they do take a lot of it back to see like what they can do and like what the take rate is type of a thing. But I don't know like when they sign their contracts or however they do their parts and things like that, or like how far ahead they are. Like, I don't know. Are they just on 24 models? Are they on 25 models? Are they already on 28 models? And they're just kind of adjusting as they go. Like, who knows how they take this info back,
Based on my calculations, they must be about 12 months or a little more out, because you can see a lot of us complained about the soft top from 21, and early 21 soft tops were bad. And then by the end of 21, my very late, like mid-November Outer Banks build was much better than my Badlands soft top from like 5 months earlier. But anyways, the 23 soft top is actually quite nice. and it has
You know,
some
it's
nice
funny, they
improvements.
never actually told
We can't
dealers
even talk
that
about
they
it.
changed them.
My,
can't talk
my
about it.
soft top's broken. There's going to be a video coming up on that.
Why, Dave?
Why is it broken?
Mhm.
Because I tried to take it off like the manufacturer stated to do, and the little tabs just started breaking off.
Your
So-
tabs in the back. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. So Laura, which out of the two, from what we've all talked about, which one would you choose? If
So
you had to?
OBX Sasquatch or Black Diamond Sasquatch, build exactly the same except for obviously the different things that come stock.
OBX Sasquatch.
Oh, yeah. All right, Johnny. What about you, man?
You can't.
OBX.
You can't. I was gonna say you can't give the university answer. You have to say one or the other.
Fair.
OBX.
That's I won't give the political answer. I'd go Sasquatch, Outer Banks.
Got it.
Allie.
Allie.
Allie, where you at?
I would do Sasquatch. Black Diamond.
All right, there we go.
I do the same thing. I when he talked about OBX, no offense to those OBXers out there, but it's just not for me.
When I hear no offense coming out before you,
No offense. Wait.
But it's just not for me. Like, it's the same comment I make on other people's when people will be like, "What do you think of this vehicle?" Not my cup of tea, but it's not my vehicle. So for me, I would rather. For me, it's not the OBX. It's not for me.
Great thing about this is right now, as they stand right now, there's something a little bit for everybody.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. I'll give you about a minute left. If you haven't voted on the poll, it's in the chat there. We've got 57 votes,
I think we're close.
and we're and smash the like button for me, please. It does help. Believe it or not, it does help that. If you haven't yet, we're on our goal to hit 10,000 subs. We're about
closer.
a month away from doing it, so would love to do that. Johnny over there's went well past what we did sub wise, so he's the sub master over there. Let's see. Oh, it's changing. There's a couple votes. All right, 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We will close this down. And I love that you guys are chatting in the comments about this too, because
there's a lot of really good comments.
Well, that's what I was excited about when we started this last week. Of course, people weren't anticipating how we were going to do this, but I want to see by the end of this in a couple of weeks, I want to see where people stand, and we're going to pit all the winners against the ultimate winner, and then I think we'll do an ultimate loser as well.
Here's my comment to this. 100% I am 100% I would do rubber floors because of Maya's hair.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Try getting
That's what I'm saying.
hair
Like, I
out of
can't
carpet.
imagine.
It's nearly impossible.
I couldn't imagine as much time as Maya spends in your Bronco
She lives
having
in there.
carpet floors.
All right. So 5, 4, 3.
Because my 09 Xterra that I had, we got it in 2011, I think. And legit, the previous owners, like, I had to take the carpet out for something. I think something was spilled in there or something. I had to take the carpet out. There was literally like 3 dogs worth of hair in that vehicle. So I can only imagine.
All right, Kelly,
How crazy.
what's the results of our poll there?
All right, so the question was, which would you choose, Black Diamond Sasquatch or Outer Banks Sasquatch? And the poll came to 69% Black Diamond Sasquatch and 30% Outer Banks.
I did not expect it to be that lopsided, because
I thought it was a little closer than that.
Well, I chose Black Diamond, Kelly chose Black Diamond, and Allie, you chose Black Diamond, and then Johnny and Laura, y'all are the posh crew.
The OBXers.
The OBX crew.
I have a wife. It's not my fault. I have a wife. I wanted a Black Diamond. It's my original order.
I did like the Black Diamond Sasquatch. I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I've after taking more of a deep dive tonight, I can see definitely why Outer Banks. You're paying a little bit more, but clearly you're getting
Yeah.
you're getting a lot more.
It's
That's
definitely like value wise, it's worth it.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
And if I remember right, once you go Sasquatch, you get the advanced 4-wheel drive and all that, correct? So
Yeah.
that's not like, oh damn, I'm still in the lower trim transfer case. So you are getting the nicer one, so which is nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, YouTube Car Spotters Guide. He knows I like these crazy weird number
Yes,
super
thank
chats.
you for our next trip.
That's right. Thank you. Johnny, what do you got coming up on your show, buddy? What's the world of Johnny's car care and review look like? And when are we going to see some car care? I see a lot of reviews, but not much car care.
That's because they get 30 views. That's no, Marie doesn't let me do any of the shirtless car wash videos that I produce, but then she's like, you're not editing that and putting that on the internet. No, it's unfortunately it's been really hot in Canada. So anytime I'm actually doing car care, I am actually shirtless. And then Marie's like, I'm like, hey Marie, can you film me? I've got, something on ceramic detailers to cover. She's like, are you gonna put on a shirt? And I go, but it's really hot. She's like, no video, no shirt, no video. So that's what's going on with me right now. I've got the shirt Nazi over here.
Did you do a tank top?
I can't do those because in Canada we call those wife beaters, and I don't think that it connotates my lifestyle. I don't want to promote that type of pack a day and the full 60 of hard liquor in the same day, and then followed by getting angry.
The only ones that does in the States, in the United States, are the white ones. So the white tank tops. So like
with ketchup stains.
If you got like a colored tank top,
Johnny Bucky's, I'm just gonna say they
or
sold
a Bucky's
tank
top.
Bucky's has
could get away
tank
with it.
tops. So the next time you're near one.
Fair. So we've got actually there was one cooler day. So I do actually have a car care video coming up where I am going to use a ceramic detailer. It took me 3 weeks to finally put on a shirt for the weather to be cool enough. And we've got some Bronco Off-Rodeo in New Hampshire. I have to make content on it because in the past I've said that it was good, but it wasn't really real off-roading other than one obstacle. That's because I was in a group of 20 Broncos and I only had the half day. I now have the full day experience, and which is very different. And we had 3 people in the group. Marie was in a Bronco. There's a father-son team, and I had my own Bronco. So being that we're only 3 Broncos, we actually did some sections of extreme off-roading. And, angle never comes out right on camera. Like really steep angles just looks like a little hill, but we went up about 250 feet of 3 different slabs of rock that was kind of like dusty dirt. And anyways, we did some pretty impressive off-roading. We banged up the bottoms. If we didn't have the rock rails, we would have had rocks in the cabin. They would have pierced through the doors. So I was actually really surprised at how many times I thought they were going to pull us off the course and say, no, we have to go back to easier trails. You're banging up the Broncos too much. So I'm going to do some coverage on that and try to stay up to date. I've kind of called in advance what the 2024 4Runner is going to be. So when it comes out, I kind of want to have a video to just be like, hey, well, I was right. Because that would make me feel good and be a lot of fun.
Well, nice. Well, John, I want to say we appreciate, there's no easy way to do this. So we're going to say goodbye to you
We
here.
have no pretty little green room to send you to.
But dude, it's been way too long. I always enjoy when you're on our show, and we'll bring you back when we can just fuss about Ford products. How about that?
Love it. Thank you so much. Really enjoy being on the show. Great seeing all of you.
You too.
All right, later, John.
Bye.
Later.
Well, there you go, guys. Johnny's car care and sometimes reviews. Or wait, no, sometimes care and reviews. But no, we love John to death. And speaking of love to death, Laura,
Fix.
you just got back. We got some more Ford news, but I want to hit since you were the last person here who has done I guess I'm the last person who's done a off-rodeo.
We are the last person.
How was your experience at off-rodeo? Did you learn anything?
Yes, a lot. It was fun. Oh my God, I want to go back. I get excited talking about it. But I wanted to go back for more, like Allie says. Like I wasn't ready to be
It's so addicting. Like,
yeah,
I really want Ford to just make me like an ambassador for off-rodeo because like I get so pumped and like talking about, and I truly have Mike and Amy to thank for everything.
Yes.
Like when it comes down to it, because like I was not into this at all. And now I'm doing this every weekend and leading trail drives. And like, they had me lead a little bit at Silver Lake and I like panicked for a second. I'm like, okay, I guess we're doing it. Like,
that's what happened the first time I led too. I was told like right before, it was like, oh, so-and-so can't do it. You have to lead. Do what? Excuse me.
Well, that was my time at Hollyoaks. And I'm just like, they had me lead one. And Pam, I don't know if Pam is still in here. I had taken them on the two they call them T-tops. So like it's the two that go like straight up and you like go straight back down. Well, she was like freaking out and she's like, you had us do that. I'm like, well, that was the worst of it. So if you handled that, you can do anything else. Like you'll be fine after that. But it's nerve wracking, like leading people like that.
So Paul Elliott asked Allie, how much are rock rails? Are they worth having?
I think they're like $700 through Ford. There's aftermarket, obviously, like White Knuckle Off-Road.
IAG just come out with a factory set, or you can go to White Knuckle Off-Road.
Yeah, and for not much more than that, you can literally get solid rock rails. If you're going to be using them for off-road, I highly recommend. No offense, Ford, but doing aftermarket.
I was thinking about while we were talking about all of this because obviously, you get the regular step for Outer Banks. I don't know if like with everything I've done so far, if I would have broke those by now.
Yeah.
I probably would have for sure.
Yeah,
but
they're aluminum and they bend easy and.
Yeah, so I mean, I honestly think they're worth having if you plan on off-roading. 100%.
Well, Laura, you've been awful quiet tonight. Laura was so worried that she was going to mess the show up tonight. So
No!
I did text you last minute though. I will say that I did hit you up last minute about this. What's coming up? What Ford products are you excited by, Laura? Obviously you just got to see the Ranger Raptor. I'm curious. That's fun to me. Hopefully it looks as fun to you.
Is it going to be on your list?
The what?
Ranger Raptor.
The Ranger Raptor.
Is it going to be on my list? The Bronco Heritage is more on my list.
Yeah.
So
would you trade what you have in for a Bronco Heritage, or would you just get another one?
Would I have an order in? Yes.
I wonder if my mic. Would you trade it? Would you trade your Bronco for a Heritage?
Oh, see, no. I love my antimatter blue.
I think this is where people get stuck having multiple Broncos because they don't want to trade theirs.
Yes.
I love it.
100%.
Again, I wish they had the Outer Banks have that flooring, I guess.
Yeah.
On the top of that, but
how do you survive it with your boys?
Well, I went from Focus to Fusion. I mean, this is my first big girl car, so I'm kind of used to the smallness. But that they rode in the Bronco Raptor, and we took a ride in it, and he's like, "This is nice." I'm like, "Well, don't get used to it." So because it is huge. I mean, it's
comparatively,
it's massive.
Yeah, you're driving a go-kart comparatively to it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got to sit in one this weekend, and I got to get a little ride around Silver Lake in it.
The Bronco Raptor or the Ranger Raptor? Bronco Raptor.
Bronco Raptor.
I know. Why didn't I ask the driver, whoever it was, if I could
I don't even remember. Like, it was funny. I was like, I went up to the guy because I couldn't get mine. And I'm just like, I just want to ride in it just to get out of my system. He's like, oh, you just want to ride? He's like, get in. I'm like, don't have to tell me twice. I'm like, done. We actually made it up Test Hill in just 4 high. Like, no goat mode, no nothing. We just sent it, and it was great.
See, that kills me. I wanted to get up and I wanted to jump ours so badly. But it'll happen for us. So Laura, future Heritage, you said might, are you telling us that there might be a Heritage coming? Is
Heritage
that what we're
Limited? Yes.
I think she wants a dark horse.
Yeah, well, that too. My husband
So
called
many
me
cars, so little time and
Yes.
money.
Yes. Oh, so many.
Any word on your Mustang, Laura?
No, it's just sitting there.
Yours is sitting too. Ours is too.
Well, the dark horse, they manually pull those, which makes it it's a real guessing game of how they come up with this week what dealership's going to get theirs pulled. They are actually building some now, though. I have heard.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten some. I'm going to bring this up.
I was going to say, people have been asking in the chat.
I know, so I got to bring this up. The lady sitting across from us has more info than we do, but let me.
Which one?
Make sure this
session has expired. Refresh. F5.
There we go. All right. So the $1 million question, where is our Mustang this week?
Same update or last update, 720.
Yep.
So same thing as last week.
We're still stuck here. I know it's built. Allie's shown us where it's at before,
Hold on.
and it's
Let's pull it up, shall we? Let's just do it.
well.
We shall.
This Mustang tease was brought to you by White Knuckle Off-Road Products. If you think of Mustangs, you think of off-road.
Wait,
White
no, you
Knuckle
don't.
Off-road products. So
No, you don't. That's for your toy.
always be selling, Kelly. Always be selling.
I know.
Maybe a
I feel like
closer.
as a salesperson, it never stops.
So,
I mean,
which
I
color
will
did you
say
settle
it's
on,
in
Laura?
It's in the same spot.
For your Mustang, what color did you settle on for, Laura?
The blue ember.
The blue ember. That's
Ugh.
right. I talked you into it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you talked to Kelly about that. That's awful.
Don't make her feel bad about her
I'm
Mustang.
nervous about it. I could still.
No, it's beautiful.
No, it's moved. It's the car's moved, Allie. It was across it was over here the last time. It was on the other side of the train.
It's in Bay 59.
Well, that's
So
the whole
Dave
thing.
would go with a red then, right? If he.
Well, like everybody pokes at us about the rapid red thing. That was not for our Bronco. That was not our color initially. Like I wanted cactus gray badly.
I wanted antimatter blue, or not antimatter
you
blue.
wa-
I'm sorry. I wanted Area 51.
So the car is moved. We can see.
Yeah, it's moved on the
It's
other
in
side
the
of the
same
railroad
general
tracks.
area.
My car's from the other side of the railroad tracks. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. It has that night pony package. It's the dark side.
Yeah. That's the rebel side.
Oh my
Um, last week, what's funny was last week, and I sent it to Allie, and I just chuckle. I bug Allie about this, not because of the excitement of the car to me, but it's just like you can talk to Ford chat, and I think I could talk to him 5 times in a row, and we'll get 5 completely different
Yeah.
answers. So if you ever have to talk to Ford chat, don't hold him as the word of God. But
No.
As you can see,
You're right.
well, I guess you can't see, but bring us back. My tracker has not updated since 720. So I think the next time it updates, it'll be
It's on its way.
It'll say built, and now it'll be like, well, it's already here. I'll be like, well,
I honestly think that's gonna happen. I mean, me and Kelly have already said it. I'm pretty sure it's coming during Woodward, but we'll see.
if it does, it does. I mean, I can always,
Should I book my flight now?
If it does, we'll see you up with Bronco Nation.
I know.
right.
Right now, the flights are somewhat reasonable for the 18th, so might have to.
I
might have to
know
book it.
the Mustang people are there getting some. I mean, some of these have build dates that were in May, and Ford has not released any of these things. Just yet.
So let's bring Bronco back up. Mine was built in June of 21. I didn't get it until October 14th.
Yeah. Well, you got caught in that top deal, and I want to say there
Dude,
was something
Bucky
else.
was a disaster.
There was
There's
something
so
else
many-
I remember back then that was holding up some builds.
Like, not only that, like, one of my headlights didn't work. I needed a new transfer case. I needed a new LED screen. I have like a whole new built Bronco by the time they were done with it, just because like nothing was passing. And I'm like, well, I guess like better caught at the plant than after.
Right.
So
Jordan Nice, your last name, sir, is not nice. Mike, I'm sorry. But I will say this. That would be a fun video if Jordan
I think that would be hilarious.
I would be that would be hilarious to me. But it's not Mustang Nation. It's Bronco Nation. And then I challenge him to change the tire. So
Not on my Mustang.
What
But
if you had a
Mustang-
flat on the Mustang?
No.
luckily Mustang, only the rears go to the rears, the fronts go to the fronts. They're different size tires. So like the G35, you remember that. But no, that would be
Don't you mess with my Mustang.
that's right. I'm gonna burn out those tires and we're gonna have to replace them. before we
Excuse me?
leave. Yeah.
No, sir.
I have to show you how it's done. I gotta leave our
All right,
market
guys,
bright
this
and forward.
is now Marriage Nation. Just so y'all
Right,
know.
right. Now we're switching.
I
Or
wonder.
Allie, help us.
I wondered how the 21 windshields, or if they were better than the 22s. Because I mean, knock
I
on
don't
wood.
know. I
No,
have my
too big.
fourth windshield.
We have 2 big cracks in our windshield now, and we're 21s.
Oh, okay. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm just lucky.
This is my.
I
fourth
thought I was lucky
windshield.
once too. And no, we had it. We got it in November. In December, we got our first rock.
The one on the right, which
Yep.
has surprisingly not
Spread it all.
spread at all. But it looks like it should, but it has not spread at all. And then on our way back from Florida,
Yeah, Florida hates us. Or
Florida
hates my
hates us because
Bronco.
I think that happened for my birthday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No. This last one was when we took Sydney down.
No. But I'm saying for the first one, I think the
Yes.
first one was for my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, crack your windshield.
Mm-hmm.
And then happy Sydney's birthday, crack a windshield.
Yeah. So November,
Should we wait to replace the windshield till November?
right? I guess.
Wait till your
I don't know.
birthday?
I don't know, but it's annoying because it's a good dime size
Yeah, it
chunk,
is.
and
nasty.
it's right in your view of the drivers. It's just,
and it's
annoying.
totally like one of those where it hit and then the inside of the glass just kind of went poof. So it's got that like bubble in it. So it's really annoying.
Yes. But the Mustang, no updates. Ranger Raptor, no updates. Laura, I know you guys got one allocations. Did you get your order of VIN for that one yet, or?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. I know there's some early ones out there.
He's going with the
unfortunately.
azure gray color too.
Love that
Oh, did you?
color. I'm so obsessed.
He was.
You have a
back and
customer for
forth.
that one, or did y'all
Yeah.
just get to choose?
Yeah, one of our
So
customers.
we have a customer.
That's not a bad thing in your position. You know what? I was told when I was in sales, because I used to do vintage guitar sales, and they told me like, hey, you're gonna want to at some point want to take all these home, but guess what? You can't have them all. You gotta
It's
sell.
so bad working at a dealer. I'll tell you right now. Like, I've wanted so many vehicles. Like, do I need one? No. Do I want another one? Yes. Like,
You did make me feel better. You said this is just first world problems when I was
is.
crying about the Raptor.
Well, I know you texted me when you were sitting in that Raptor. I think I texted you, and I thought you were gonna cry on me. I was like, she's
I
don't want to get out of this thing.
It was amazing.
I know. She's like, why did I sell it? I'm like, because we have to.
It's what you
You guys
do.
sent me pictures today. It was cool.
Really, that's awesome.
I do love the customers that do that. It's so while I was at Silver Lake, I had a customer texting me all of his updates, and he's actually good friends with Jeff Trapp of
Mhm.
Bronco Graveyard. So I literally just walked my phone over. I'm like, Jeff, look.
Oh.
I'm like, look at this. It was so cool.
I told him to sell it back to me when he's done with it. So.
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
but there'll be an upcharge, right?
Right.
Because man, like there was when those rings first came out, everybody was like getting 120,000 for them over. And I was like, well, that's ridiculous. But now I'm still seeing them at 120,000. But at the MSRP of them now, I'm like, well, that's not actually seem like that bad.
That's after taxes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, it's not.
It's
Not
insane.
too bad.
It super bums me out because it's like you have the real like diehard Bronco people who like want these because they're gonna enjoy the crap out of these things and like use them for what they're intended for. And then you have the people just buying them and flipping them. And I'm just like, that's what sucks. Is like watching that happen.
Well, the Ranger Raptor coming up, that's going to be a nightmare because that's going to be a big ordeal.
Mhm.
And I'm surprised Ford hasn't said there's a ownership clause in that you have to own it for so long. But in some ways, they encourage this. They encourage the flipping because of the Heritage Limited, or as we talked about, like your owner can order it. I mean, I know you guys got to color and stuff, but after that,
it's like the Tiberian lady.
I mean, the thing is, I mean, Ford is watching. Like, Ford is on all dealers for the flipping. They want you to keep it for 6 months. And when they go around, if they do an audit and they catch the same person doing it over and over again, they're going to get caught and they're not going to be able to buy another one. So unfortunately, yes, it's a ripple effect. But I mean, Ford is watching this kind of stuff. And like, if we have any inkling of them flipping it, like, game over. No way. And like, yeah, you can turn a blind eye to it, I guess. But if you get caught, it's just not good for the dealer.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about all the Ford news I have this week. Kelly, anything? Any women's forum issues?
No, I think my social medias have heard me complain about it. I haven't seen too much this week.
I know.
I mean, because you ladies seem to be like eagle eyes on what's going on in that world.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything. Allie, have you seen anything that
I was
just
too busy in the sand
tickled
this
your fancy?
weekend.
Yeah, Abby was on vacation.
My phone did not work, and it was fantastic. Like,
That's amazing.
I had so hit and miss like service. Like, even I was like texting my friend Eric because we were in the same campground, and I remember I sent him a message. I'm like, hey, where are y'all at? I'm like, I'm going up Test Hill, and then I got one right here because we were all standing next to each other at the drag strip. I'm like, really? He's like, well, you asked. I'm like, I sent that over an hour ago. Like,
I wanted to tell Dave about that, the 2-3
Do
on
it.
the driveway. Do you have the finishing picture of the? I wonder if the other one was a.
Oh, I think I've seen that one.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up this picture.
I don't know what his engine was though. The blue Bronco. But I just want to tell Dave that I was like that once the 2-3 got going, I wanted a longer drag strip. Like I felt like I could just, beat everything.
Zoom.
After.
Well, what I remember the 2-3 and the Mustangs was about 4,000 RPMs. That was like the peak of when they would go, and it seemed like once you got past that, that's when it died off. But I mean, sand would keep you pretty high RPMs.
So we do have a photo finish.
Which you weren't perfectly straight, but
No, but you can tell.
The winch got me.
She's like, wait, but I won because of the winch. But
awesome.
I mean, this photo is really cool, and my favorite part is you can. Wait. Can I zoom
You can
in?
totally see Laura's face there. I
know. That's what I want to try and zoom in. Like, look at this. She's like leaning up, and she's like so excited. Look at. Oh, I never got.
I was just saying, look, keep looking.
It looks like a family picture. Like they were just like,
I know.
hi. How did we
It
get
was
this?
so funny.
So was full-size Bronco guy there? Was he upset that he
Didn't win?
He didn't win?
OJ?
I don't know.
Because big V8 there, big V8 guy thinks he's gonna tear it up, and you guys probably nicely kept up with him. Well, that it sounds like the takeover was another fun time that we missed. Damn us for living 9 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
Damn baseball getting in my way.
Laura, I think all of Laura's miles have been driving up to Michigan for Broncos.
I think so too.
Oh my God.
So this weekend is the map tour. Is that right?
Yeah. So it's like a family day that Michigan Bronco Club was invited to.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like this isn't like an open to the public fully thing. So we have quite a few Broncos that are showing up for it. But yes, part of the plant will be open. I'm guessing it's going to be like the staging area type of a thing. Well, this is where like MAP employees, families get to go and see where they work. There'll be kid games. There's a car show. There's a bunch of stuff going on. And then we have Woodward. Thursday for Bronco Nation members, y'all get to go to Hollyoaks. Yes, you have to pay for a pass. But I know Laura and Jordan will be there along with some Bronco Off-Rodeo instructor. So if you want to learn about your Bronco, Friday, if you got a golden ticket and get to hang out with them for the day, there's 5 different spots. And then on Saturday, you have Woodward. So
Nice.
It'll be a good time.
Bring this up real quick. This is from our Instagram. We sent over Gregory Stoddard. We sent him over.
He's a MAP employee.
Yes, sent him over some stickers and shirts and stuff. And there's Rebecca Kelly. I don't know that you've seen this.
Here too.
No, those aren't
us.
We did send some of those stickers over. He said he was trying to spread the love there a little bit.
That's awesome.
But there's a little bit of there's Jody.
I'm up there. I'm under the flower.
Yep, be sure. Right there.
Yeah, right here. So there's a little bit of our Broncos back at home. So that was kind of cool. And I was glad, I was curious, hoping, that when you send some stickers over, hopefully their MAP employee would put some in the plant. And that was awesome to see.
Yeah, he said he was spreading them around and he really, really appreciated it. I guess this is the snack fridge or snack locker. He said that the ladies refill all the time for them because, the guys are never prepared if they're going to so the girls restock it.
Well, did you even notice your names?
I did.
Okay.
I'm the brain, right?
Well, yeah, I
And I will say that the stickers are getting put in other areas. He just cannot take pictures of those areas. So
well,
that's okay. He did. Yeah, he said he was spreading the love around because we did send one of every sticker that we have. So
if we could just get one in that final staging area where they take the final picture, that we could just see a little love up there.
Here's the thing with with that, they were there until someone took them all down because they were showing up in the final pictures.
No.
That's crazy.
I'm like, that is hilarious. It's so
Go back,
funny.
go
And
back.
he's so
Well,
funny. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Well, Laura, I want to say thank you for being on tonight. We appreciate you jumping in.
for having me. I love it.
Maybe down the
I'll
road
see you
when
in a
you get
few
that
days.
inherited.
Yes.
We
And
didn't get as much energy out of Laura tonight as we expected.
I'm
though.
tired. It was a long weekend.
Well, that's Allie. Allie's been like, man,
I'm done.
She texted, she was like, it's gonna be rough
feel
tonight.
like I've already taken 2 showers. I still have sand like in my hair. Like it's so bad.
Okay, maybe we don't go up next year.
Yeah, but we were also we were doing a lot of stuff.
well, rest,
That
whatever.
sunset was awesome. That was cool. Finale.
All I know from Allie's, she saw a mud puddle. She was going to go splash it.
I did.
Well, Laura, do you know how to take us out of the show? Do you know there's a lot of pressure with this?
Oh God, no.
It's okay, we got it. No worries.
No,
We got
because I
you.
want you to say the wine. Remember? I wanted you to say it like at Supercell when Jared was saying, with drinking wine.
What?
All right. So
What, Jared? I heard you.
Sneaking in on you.
Hi, Jared.
come on, Jared, come in.
Hurry! Come down. You say awesome. Because he practices every time. Hurry.
What?
Hurry. Say it.
What?
Say the end.
Wine master.
Yes,
Jared.
wine master. Take us out. Take us out, Jared.
It doesn't matter what kind of wine you drink, no matter what. If it's red wine or white wine, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I was upstairs drinking.
So whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive.
it doesn't matter what you drive as long as you're driving Bronco here. And this has been your Bronco Talk Live presented by White Knuckle Off-Road. And what are we, Kelly?
We're out.
Peace, everybody.
See ya.